to you guys? Yeah. Daryl, it must have been nice to get back to winning ways for the day.
Yeah. I'm not the best loser, to be honest. It's been a tough month. The boys have worked pretty hard, but we didn't get much reward until last week. But I thought it was an excellent effort. Obviously, there's been a fair bit of adversity with us this year in terms of injuries, so it's been difficult at times. But the team that went out there last week, I thought attitude-wise were exceptional, and some of the things we did with the ball, based on that everybody knows the team that we had, and they played some real smart rugby league, so it was very pleasing.
Through to the quarter-finals, but nice easy tie against Wigan for you.
Well, it is what it is, isn't it? The Challenge Cup, you know. I mean, the other year when we got to the final, we played Wigan early on in the competition, and we won that game. It's going to be tough. There's no question about that. But we're capable of doing it. It's a few weeks away before that comes round. You don't know what happens to either team. There's different things that can happen, and we'll just look to try and get in a bit of a flow with our league form. I think that's obviously the big priority now, starting with the Leeds game, which is obviously a tough one for us.
Obviously, a couple of years ago when you got to the final, it seemed to sort of buoy the place. People seemed to be sort of, the fans were up for it, the players were up for it. It seemed like the Challenge Cup run sort of really added something to the season. Do you hope to sort of repeat that if you can?
Yeah, of course, yeah, it'd be awesome, wouldn't it? I think the Challenge Cup's special to Castleford. I think it is to most clubs. I think people talk about it being devalued because of the league campaign, but I don't see that. I just think it's a great competition. I've always enjoyed being a part of it, whether as a player or a coach, and that doesn't change. But obviously the focus now switches to what we've got on Thursday night, which is a tough game, and it's an important one for both teams. I think everybody can see that.
How's Nathan Massey doing? Is he alright?
Yeah, he's alright. Yeah, I mean he's walking around, and we'll have to get a look at him tomorrow and see how he is. We've got a staff meeting this afternoon, so we'll have a chat about that. But yeah, he's come out of it alright. It could have been a bad injury, that dislocating your kneecap, but don't look like he's done too much damage.
Any chance for this Thursday, or are you going to assess him?
Yeah, potential. I'll see him. Well, we'll see how he trains tomorrow, but there's potential he'll be in there.
In terms of other injuries, anyone else out? Anyone else maybe coming back for this one on Thursday?
Well, Luke Dawn is available. Luke Gale, late fitness test. Grant Millington, late fitness test. I think potentially be okay, but we won't know until tomorrow, until we go through everything and see where we're at. But hopefully we'll have a few halfbacks available, which make life interesting for it.
Seems like you're finally getting a few back now, which is obviously nice to see after a really difficult spell, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I mean, injuries are injuries, aren't they? We play a real tough contact sport, or I don't anymore, but the boys get stuck into it, and it's difficult. You're going to get injuries, and you haven't really tried to make too much of it. It's just crack on, I think. And I think the more positive messages that you give your team, the better that you're going to be. And they've been pretty positive the way they've gone about it, I think. And whilst we haven't got it as probably perfect as we would have liked it in terms of getting results. There's quite a lot of games there where we've been really down to the bare bones, and we've been not far away, and it shows a lot of character in the team. There's a couple of performances that we're really disappointed with, but overall I think for what's happened to us, I think we've done a pretty good job.
Moving on to the game then, how do you sort of assess Leeds' side at the minute? Obviously not a great start to the season for them. They'll not be very happy with that, will they?
Well, there's been a lot said this week, and I think Gary's sent a letter out to the fans, and they're trying to rally the team. It's tough what's happened to them. There's no doubt. There's talking about different things. The training ground and different injuries. Losing key players at the end of last season. There's quite a few things in there, but they've still got a pretty good team there that can really challenge you. I mean, a couple of games ago, they weren't too far away from beating St Helens, and they were really sharp that night. They put St Helens under a lot of pressure, and they've had a couple of tough battles against Huddersfield, and it is what it is for them, as well as those injuries have sort of made life difficult for them so far. But this is a game that is crucial to us. It's important we focus on ourselves, and we go and play well, and we've enjoyed going to Headingley recently. The last couple of years we've been really good there, so we'll go and try and do the same.
How do you sort of assess it going into this one? Do you see it as a good time to play them, or do you just see it as, you know, it's playing against Leeds, it's going to be a derby, they're going to be up for it, you're going to be up for it?
Yeah, I don't really care about that. I don't think it matters. It's just about where we're at now, what we need to do to get ourselves in a place to win the game. It's a short turnaround for both teams, more so for us, and we've just got to go and perform. You know, and that's what we're saying at the moment. It's a game at a time, and it'll only be good for us if we go and play well. You can't turn up in any game in Super League now and be off your game, and we've found that out a couple of times this year, that you get your backside spanked.
Cool.
You mentioned there that Gale and Millington are North Lake finishers. You haven't drawn up another option if they both don't come through, for your half-backs and everything?
Yeah, well, if Luke Dawn's back, it frees us up a little bit. Yeah. It gives us Ryan Hampshire, so we have got the potential for different variations. But we'll wait and see. I mean, I've gone through more half-back pairings than I ever have before. To be honest, it's been pretty tough from that perspective. But last week we had a proper hooker playing at half-back, and they were pretty good, to be fair. So they know our game and they're smart players. So I'm confident that whoever we put out there, they'll do a good job for us.
How did you come to the combination of Millington and McShane as half-backs? Was it through training, or was it just a decision you've taken from what you've seen them, like what they can do?
Yeah, well, Millington was one that I've used before. When Rangy Chase was here a few years back, we used Grant as a ball playing option. So I got to a point where we were struggling a little bit with Ben Roberts, and we looked on, hadn't quite come back, so we needed to adjust it a little bit. So Milo I've seen before. Paul's just a good rugby player, and as soon as Luke Gale dropped out, he put his hand up, and you could see there's a confidence about him. So it was an interesting one. Sometimes you just make decisions on the spur of the moment, and sometimes they fall flat on the face, and sometimes they come off all right. And that was one that worked out all right for us, and it gives us, I think, obviously having a look at it now, it gives us a genuine option moving forward, whether it's for this season or it's into next season. We've got an option that we know we've got a guy there who can do a half-back job and do it pretty well.
Great.
The forwards really stepped up, didn't they, last week against Salford with Andy Lynch missing?
Yeah, they did. I think we've obviously signing Lam Patrick has helped us. Losing Andy Lynch is obviously a big blow. He's been a mountain of a player for us. Just very influential in every way. His leadership, his role on the field is massive. But the forward pack last week had an edge to it that I really liked. I think they completely dominated Salford, and obviously they'll be looking to back that up. You talk to. That's the interesting thing with a pack. It is what it is. Talk about packs as being really close and have a unity and an aggressive nature about them. And I thought we really started the ball rolling from that perspective. I think it's something I've been asking for a fair while. And last week we have seen it this season, but we're looking to see it consistently now. And last week gave us a real good platform to build from.
Yeah, some players played longer than they normally would do.
Yeah, a little bit. Obviously, Lynch, he's very greedy with his minutes, and he wants 80 if he can, which is unlike a lot of props. But his engine is exceptional. But yeah, that means obviously it has to be shared out a little bit. Grant Millington he's used to the playing prop, and being out there for 25 minutes. He's having to go 80 at the minute, which is interesting for him. But I think some of the things that have helped us as well is just it's exciting when you play a different position. I've mentioned it before. I think when I played a long time ago now, but when I played, you play a different position. It gives you a little bit of an edge. I think and I think that's what's happened to a couple of our players over the last couple of weeks.
Where do you see this game being won or lost?
Well, the pack's important. It always is. It's key. You look at fundamental parts of rugby league. Your pack and and who can go forward the best. Kicking games are obviously crucial, so that'll be a big part of it. And then it's execution, just who executes the best. I think our games, we've had to modify our game a little bit and regrow it. And I thought we looked pretty tidy. We weren't quite at our cutting edge best last week, but there were some real good positive signs. But yeah, if you had to nail me down to a couple of things, I think the pack performance will be massive, and the kicking games are as ever. And then defensively, it's who's going to be on top.
Do you think you're firing on all cylinders now, or is there still more to come?
I think there's loads to come from us. Yeah, we've got that many players missing that as they start feeding back in and they start hitting the straps and getting into form, then I think there's a lot more to come from us. When that is, I think that there's some real positive signs from us at the moment. We'd like to reaffirm that on Thursday night. If we can do that, then you start seeing some consistency. That's what we're after at the moment.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you. How are you doing?